general manager. And when you win, the quarterback gets the credit. And when you lose, the GM gets hit. And that's why Brady is kind of your best friend, because Tom will take a little bit of a current hit to give the GM a little more space. Could I make the argument that with Russell and Aaron, and we saw this friction, once you're getting paid $38 million, by the way, Mahomes restructured his deal this year, that it is harder to be in the building because you're Green Bay and Seattle can't do much. And it does create a little tension in the building.
Yeah, I can't figure out the Russell Wilson situation because, and you're right, exactly right. My son-in-law played in the NBA for 8 or 9 years, and I got to kind of hang around that situation a little bit. And I think that's what those contracts are all guaranteed. And it's all about the players and the LeBron James going, I'm going to pick the coach, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I think the quarterbacks, with the amount of money that's vested in them, and they keep coming back to them and guaranteeing larger chunks of it so they can beat that cap space you're talking about. So, yeah, they feel kind of emboldened, like, yeah, I'm part of management here, so I want some say in what we're doing. And that's fine. You need to listen to your top players. But Russell Wilson, I'm not quite sure what it is. Yeah, he wants better offensive line. He wants some good. I get that. But the way he's going about it, I don't know. Tom Brady dealt with this all the time. We'd hear Tom Brady, hit and maybe, hey, I need a little help here. I need a little help there. But as public as Russell Wilson is about it, I'm not sure what he's working for.
By the way, X-Tech Equipment, the number one shoulder pad in football. Brian's an original investor, an elite ambassador. X-Tech Equipment. By the way, you got the vest on right there. The business is it continue to flourish? How's it doing?
Huge. Number one pad in the NFL. We've become the number one pad in college. Big schools, Ohio State, Oklahoma, or Auburn, Notre Dame. And we're becoming the number one pad for the big schools in high school. Mater Dei High School, St. John Bosco, De La Salle, South Lake Carroll in Texas. It's amazing how parents are now more invested in making sure their players are protected and padded right. And X-Tech pad's exactly the pad they ought to be in.
Brian, great seeing you. Continued success.
You too. Hope you're doing well.
Thank you. Brian Billick. Yeah, it is. You pay the quarterback more. He does feel a little bit like management. You just don't want him to go public. And Aaron and Russell tend to think. Russell never gone public. Aaron's gone public. Russell this year went a little Aaron. He went a little public, and it's...
Well, they tend to go public when they feel unheard.
That's a good point. So make sure they feel heard.
Exactly.
Well, the other thing that never gets talked about with Aaron, they let go of his quarterback coach, his buddy, and they didn't tell him. That's dumb. No, I'm not saying Green Bay is dumb, but that's dumb.
There's generally situations that come up that could be handled with relative ease that get overlooked, whether it's ego or just you get comfortable, and then those things eventually build up and lead to disasters.
I couldn't tell you the last time I yelled at a manager, but if you took away Ryan, our producer, and you didn't tell us, don't we get a call? A text?
It seems like a small thing, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like it gets to a point of arrogance, or just you're just comfortable. It's like working with family. Like you tend to kind of, not work as hard because you're just like, they'll be cool with it. It's my brother or whatever. It's the same thing. Like you get comfortable, and then those things build up.
Joy Taylor with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herdline News.
Fight news in the UFC. Dana White announced today that Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier will complete the trilogy with a third fight this summer. It will be the main event of UFC 264 in Las Vegas on July 10th.
I'll watch.
The two first fought in 2014 when McGregor got the win by a first-round knockout. Poirier evened the score up in January, beat McGregor by a second-round knockout. So not very long fights between these two.
No, they're brawlers. Poirier is who you would take in this fight.
Very dramatic, yes. I don't know. I think that McGregor is obviously not the same fighter he was in 2014.
But he's still dangerous.
Yes, he's still dangerous.
Hey, by the way, he's a good watch. All I know is...
I'm 100% going to watch.
There's something to be said about McGregor. Watching him lose is still wildly entertaining because he is the villain of the sport.
Arrogant.
He has taken a very interesting path because I don't think he was always the villain.
No, I think he was the energy of the sport. He was the rising star. Then he was the star. He's the eroding star. He's become the businessman.
But he is a bit of a villain now, though.
Oh, there's no question. And by the way, we've seen in wrestling, people turn into heels. It doesn't make him any less interesting. McGregor losing because first of all, he just gets the game. He gets the game of UFC.
He's a natural talker, and he can sell fights. And in the fight game, whether it's boxing or UFC, selling the fight is half of it.
One of the most entertaining nights, the most entertaining night my wife and I have ever had at a sporting event was Mayweather-McGregor. It was just a circus. It was unbelievably entertaining.
It was a circus, but it ended up being a good fight.
Yeah, but it's like, we know Mayweather didn't make it interesting because he's a boring fighter. And McGregor literally was in a sport that wasn't his, and he was more interesting than the boxer in the boxing match.
It was such a spectacle.
Oh, it was crazy.
I can't describe Vegas that weekend. It was like one of the craziest experiences of my life in sports.
We have been in this business 45 years combined between the two of us. I can't speak for you, but I think I'm saying this, and there is no question the best live sporting events I've ever been to are UFC or boxing matches.
Yeah. I mean, fight nights
by a mile over NBA Finals, World Series. The best thing is to be at the Octagon or a boxing ring. And by the way, not anywhere in Vegas.
Well, because boxing fights and UFC fights have the ability to be history, and you really truly do not know what's going to happen. Like, you kind of have a feeling it's like, a game 6, a game 7. You can feel the momentum of what team, if there's injuries, how someone's been playing.
Not
the way
in
the team's
boxing.
been trending. You have no idea.
Because styles make fights.
Right.
Some guys just do not match up.
And one wrong step, you don't see a guy's body before the fight, and he comes out, and you're like, oh my God, he's in terrible shape. Like this, you get the emotion of the crowd involved. It's just a very unique experience. I'm glad that they're finally letting fans back in full capacity eventually, and that'll be fun. So the Lakers are holding on without LeBron and AD in the lineup. Andre Drummond is the newest addition and has only played in 5 games for the team so far. He doesn't think he's playing well right now. He is expecting improvements from everyone once the team is healthy.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I'm still trying to figure it out too. I mean, offensively, it's probably the worst I've played in my career. I'm still trying to figure it out here. I think for us as a team, we're going to find a way to get it done when guys come back healthy. Because you got to think we're playing with a different 5 every night when we're stepping on the court. So you can't expect us to have much chemistry when you don't know who we're playing with each and every night. So, we're hanging our hat on defense and allowing that to protect us to a win.
It's not the worst strategy to hang your hat on defense, especially going into the playoffs.
And by the way, we know this. In the playoffs, refs swallow the whistle. So the push, the pull, the tug, all the physical teams, it plays to their benefit.
And they're 20th in offensive efficiency, first in defensive efficiency right now.
Without LeBron and AD.
Without LeBron and AD. They've gone 6-7 without both LeBron and AD. They started 0-3 and have gone 6-4 since then. The Lakers don't give me as much anxiety about not having the chemistry 100% as the Nets do. When LeBron and AD come back, a couple games together, they just have a different level of established culture and chemistry.
They're like friends.
Right, but also I think they have enough of the core of their team that has played together already that it won't be as jarring once they're all together. Whereas the Nets have had no time. They didn't have the bubble. They didn't have the coming off of a championship to ride on through the playoffs. I still think that the Nets are going to make it to the finals, but how that's all going to work when their big 3 are together and playing consistently, we still have to see. So I love this story. Alex Rodriguez is on track to be one of the new owners of the Minnesota Timberwolves.
That's right.
The rookie star, Anthony Edwards, who was an excellent interview, by the way, was asked about the move and if he was a fan of A-Rod growing up. And this was his response.
Are you an A-Rod fan at all growing up or anything like that? What do you think about what he might bring to the team?
A fan? Who is he?
The baseball player, Alex Rodriguez?
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Okay.
I know he's going to be the owner, but I don't know nothing about baseball.
I'm sorry to this man. Well, he's 19 years old. He was born in 2001. A-Rod tagged Edwards in an Instagram story saying, "Hi, Anthony, I'm Alex." And he responded with, "What's good, my guy?"
That's funny.
Alex Rodriguez and billionaire Mark Lowry have signed a letter of intent, which will give them negotiating rights. So they're going to buy a percentage of the franchise.
I love his honesty.
It's so
hey, by the way, have you ever seen? Because it's just a generational thing.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the video? It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. They take two teenagers on the internet. They give them a rotary phone, and they ask them to figure it out. Joy, it is hysterical.
Yeah.
They can't figure out the cord. They don't understand you have to hang up for the dot. They don't understand the numbers. Two really smart techie kids. It is like they're on Mars and they found a space rock that talks.
I know.